Fellas, feast your eyes on the class of 76 Bob Hanna special. Guys, this thing hauls ass. This is 1976 YZ250C. If you've been following the channel, you know we just did a test on the 120 or demo ride on the 125 and the 175 1976. Now we've got the 250 ready for prime time. So all three of the 1976 models. This is back when Bob Hanna and Rick Burgett were dominating the 125 national scene, and they were doing pretty good in the 250 class 2 of these. This was, to my knowledge, the fastest 76 250 made, and it was an exciting time to be a racer. I was there. I was at Southwick and Unadilla 74, 75, 76 for the Nationals, and every year the progress was amazing. They came out with a monoshock rear suspension. Just a couple of years earlier, they had twin rear shocks and downpipes on them. So the technology, they still had steel tanks. This one here is a good rider. It is very, very fast. The clutch, the transmission, the frame, everything, the original engine, transmission, clutch, and everything, and exhaust is intact, and it runs like a raped ape. It runs really good. We've done a bunch of work to it, but we had to draw a line in the sand. We didn't want to get too far into a typical frame off where you restore everything and, you know, redo everything on it. It can get very expensive. So we did enough to make this one a rider, and it's a good candidate for an armor racer, and or if you wanted to do a frame up restoration, this would be a good starting point. It's ready to ride. I'll grab the work order just in case, so I don't speak out of school here. But if you look, you'll see it's got some new parts on it. It's got a new front fender, new front number plate, has a upgraded set of forks on it. The 76 had the 1 year only air canister forks. These are off of a later model, I think a 78. So they have more suspension travel on them, and they're definitely better than the stock forks. Brand new set of handlebars, new set of grips, new crossbar pad, new clutch lever. The tank is actually a
MX.
I'm not sure exactly what model this came off of this tank, but it fits perfectly. It's from the same year. I think it might have been off of 400 actually. And we didn't want to spend all the money on a full paint job, so we just put the decals on the center here, and the detail shop painted the center panel yellow to make it kind of tie together. It's got new number plate on the front, new number plates on the side, new number plate graphics, new rear fender. The baffle was made in our shop. That's like a custom handmade baffle out of that was you know, an aftermarket baffle that was made to fit and welded in the shop here and polished in the shop. So that's pretty cool. It's definitely a very fast bike. The chain is brand new on it, as you can see. It has a new spark plug. The carb was dismantled, cleaned, tuned, and jetted. We're running VP T2 ethanol-free premix fuel. We've got new gear lube in it, new Sunstar 520 Gold drive chain. Also has a new front brake lever in addition to the new clutch lever and the new grips and the new crossbar pad. It has a new kill switch on it. And as I mentioned, the plastics, front and rear fender, and number plate graphics. So was given a full steam clean rotisserie detail. We stripped it right down to the engine and frame and steam cleaned the whole thing. And the detail shop repainted the frame, repainted the engine, repainted the exhaust system, cleaned it up to the best of our ability. And like I said, this is not a full restoration. This is just a typical restoration frame off on a bike like this. You're looking at 70 to 100 hours of shop labor. We've got quite a bit less than that on this one. We've got 21 hours labor, and kept the price of the work order down. With the parts, it was about $600 with the parts, and it was actually with the parts and labor, it came to $3,300 for 21 hours labor plus parts. So yeah, has the original saddle on here. I believe this is the original upholstery on the saddle. It's not perfect, but it's there and it's rideable, and the bike's fast and fun. So, sometimes when we do these frame off restorations, the bikes are so damn nice. I don't even want to drive them in the grass, let alone a motocross track, because so much time and effort was put into it. This one is going to be affordable. It's going to have a low reserve, and it's something you can get out and ride the shit out of. They're actually a lot of fun to ride. They handle good. The brakes are good. The motor's definitely better than the suspension and brakes on. I'll put it that way. I mean, this thing will wheelie every gear up the driveway. I would say it's in the high 30s horsepower wise, and it's a rare piece. Most of these are long gone because it's from 1976. Would you like to add anything about this, Kenny?
Yeah, it's got a low center of gravity, so these older full-size bikes are cool. Good for the grass track at Della. Sweet little vintage rider. We can ship it anywhere in the States inexpensively. Message your zip code for a shipping quote. Any questions, you could message us on eBay or call the shop line 860-454-7024. Financing through Freedom Road is available. You can call for a pre-app. It's a soft credit pull, gold standard financing on these classics.
I haven't pulled the production stats on this, but in 2 years, this thing's going to be 50 years old, 50. So it's actually an antique, not just a classic. And I did pull the production stats on the 175, and based on what I found, they made 1,501 of the 175s, which is a very small quantity. And because these bikes are so fun to ride, and like Junior said, the low center of gravity, and they're air-cooled and easy to work on, most of them were ridden until they blew up, or their trannies blew, or something terrible happened, and the guy couldn't fix it. So because they're fun to ride, they're fun, and that's what it's supposed to be about, especially with vintage bikes. So I could see me riding this around Unadilla, ripping up the big hills, riding on the grass track, like Junior said. It's a fun bike to ride, and because of the low center of gravity, they're actually really good in the woods, and just a good all-around fun bike. And again, we have the 70s. Actually, the 125 sold today, right?
Correct.
76 YZ 125 just sold. We've got the YZ 175 left and this one. So if you're interested in one or both, give us a call, 860-454-7024. Hopefully you enjoyed the demonstration, and if you've been listening this far and you're not even interested in buying it, I'm sure it brought back memories to a simpler time back in the 70s. An exciting time to be a racer with all the innovation. Liquid cooling hadn't come out yet. It was right around the corner on the production bikes, and it was an exciting time to be a rider. Every year was light years and changes. Thanks for watching. God bless America.